How's it going, everybody? This is Jeffrey with Paracords and more. Wanted to come to you with something that I thought would help a lot of you in your paracord endeavors. I get a lot of questions and comments from people regarding how to make certain ties, how to do certain knots, different things like that. And I want to give you some information and do a small review on a resource that I use and have used quite a bit. As you can see in front of you is a book called Paracord Fusion Ties Volume 1. It's a book by JD of Tying It All Together. And he has a website, which I'll put up a link in the notes about his website. And also I'll put a link in the bottom as well to where you can go and pick up the book if you'd like to. I find the book to be quite interesting. It's very much like JD's teaching style, which is very explicit and detailed. He goes into a lot of detail about the way he ties knots. As you can see, what he calls the different terms. I think it's important if you're going to take this up as something that you're going to do for a business, to learn the correct terminology and to know, to sound knowledgeable to people you'll be talking to. And I think his information is excellent. I first came across him with his YouTube page, Tying It All Together, and I love his style. He comes on there with pretty much what you see here. Each screen is pretty much how he does his ties, where he ties part of a knot and then he pauses, and he ties another part and then he pauses, and he gives you plenty of time to catch up. Now granted, you can go back and rewind, but he gives you plenty of time to look at his information and tie these knots just like he does. And I've used several of his knots. I think the guy is excellent. I think this book is excellent. It's mostly a book about different pictures, different steps. I haven't gone through all of them because some of the ties wouldn't really work for me. But I think there's some people that would love tying all of them. Now, a lot of his ties are kind of like this one here, where they have they end in actual knot that goes into class right here. I usually use buckles, and there's different ways you can probably incorporate buckles into them. I don't really like that type of enclosure, but some people do, and I think that's one of the benefits of paracord, that it can be done by a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So if you're starting out in paracord or you're already seasoned in paracord, I would definitely recommend this book by JD of Tying It All Together. It's written by him. He also has a volume 2. I haven't gotten that as yet, and I think his information is excellent. I wanted to promote him in his book. I think he's done a lot for the paracord community, and he doesn't ask for any money for the ties. Obviously, he's selling this book, but he gives this information out to the community, and all he asks for in return is just give him the acknowledgement if you use one of his ties. A lot of them he ties himself. I kind of learned that from a video he had on his page where he interviewed a guy that's also another towering figure in the paracord industry, goes by the name of Storm Drain. And he interviews that guy, and they get to talking about the different ties that they each have invented. And I was kind of surprised that once they invent them and they go back and tie them, they have to watch their videos or look at their notes because they can't remember them all, which actually made it easier for me, because a lot of times when I don't tie something very often, I can't remember it either. So I think his book is excellent, and I would definitely recommend you clicking on the link below and checking it out. It's very good information, and I think all of you would benefit from it. And speaking of that, I want to also send a thank you to everyone that has been subscribing to our page. It's been very humbling to see all the people that have benefited from the information. We've got some excellent comments and questions, and I think sometime in the near future we'll be answering some of those questions on the page. But I want to tell you all that I appreciate your support and your encouragement and your ideas, because I've gotten a lot of those. It's helped us build our small business, Paracords and more, to what we believe will be a full-time income at some point. And I just want to thank everyone that's been a part of that. We really appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you all out there twisting some ties, and we'll see you next time.